from different time zones around the world in this event. So we are underway. Heat number 2, the second and final heat of event number 1, presented by Ramwad. 21, 15, 9 thrusters and burpee pull-ups, with the thruster weight getting heavier every round. And Adrian Moonweiler right now is your early leader. And Moonweiler is a guy who didn't even do the Worldwide Open, because I talked to him in Ireland. So I just prefer to compete in person. Well, he doesn't get to do that here. Yeah. Exactly. But something like that. But Moonweiler setting the early pace here through 21 as he goes unbroken on the 135-pound barbell, and now to the set of burpee pull-ups.
Looks like Noah Olson's taking the old torch in the hair approach. I don't think he heard the starting gun.
And Noah Olson looks like he has yet to start.
And one thing to kind of explain to the people that are watching is, like, all of these videos will be reviewed and judged after the event to determine who actually did have the winning score.
So they'll get things squared away with Noah Olson. But right now, Adrian Moonweiler is your leader.
It's a steady pace. As we said earlier, it's not going to be about the burpee pull-ups unless you're bad at them. Just managing them and not wasting time is going to be important at this position.
10 reps to go for Moonweiler before he will begin his second set of thrusters as the weight jumps aggressively to 185 pounds. Chandler Smith is just a rep behind Moonweiler, as are Cole Sager and Bjorven Gudmundsson. So a good battle for second place going on behind Adrian Moonweiler. And Will Morat starting to creep into that as well.
And you look at something like a thruster relative to any other movement that they could pair this with. When you're talking about heavy weights, positioning and technique are vital. When you're talking about heavy thrusters, being in that elbow position, having the bar rest, being upright in the deep part of your squat. So what some of these athletes are going to get is they're going to get exposed if they don't have the best quality movement.
Moonweiler is done. Meanwhile, Noah Olson has gotten to work. So his time is going to be kept separately. And again, as Chase mentioned, there's a judge on site. You can see her. The videos are reviewed, so we will get a time for Noah Olson. But he is working on basically a different clock than the other men in this heat. But we'll keep an eye on how he's doing, and he is on his first set of burpee pull-ups. As Cole Sager is trying to chase down Adrian Moonweiler. Sager, bottom part of your screen, loading his barbell. And Bjorven Gudmundsson, and now Pat Vellner has moved himself into the lead. So some big name athletes here fighting for the top spot, as Pat Vellner is through 51 of the 90 reps. Gudmundsson, Moonweiler, Sager, and now Jacob Hebner has entered the picture. He's a couple reps back of Moonweiler for third place.
And Sager looks so good in that positioning. He's very upright, nice high elbow position. What that does, it takes the pressure off other muscle groups that don't need to be taxed. When you're nice and vertical, you just got nice quads, glutes to put into that, not blowing up the low back or the back of the shoulders.
And Patrick Vellner is done. Bottom right of your screen, and he is going to take a break and use that time to start to load his barbell. Vellner is your leader through 57 of the 90 total repetitions. Remember, Noah Olson did start late. He is not on the same clock as the other athletes, but Olson moving well here through his first set of 21 burpee pull-ups, and that is his final rep, and he'll get back to the barbell, load it to 185, and then perform 15 thrusters.
Now, what I've seen from Olson up into this point is he's moving very fast on that first set of 21 thrusters at 135, and this is actually a pretty good transition for him, you know. Slip the clip off, put the bar on. The hard thing is with a setup like this for the athletes is that a lot of times in live competition, they'll dictate their breaks based off what the rest of the field is doing around them. When you don't see your competitors, those breaks might get extended by just a little bit. And when I said you got to be saving seconds coming into this event, what's another 3 to 5 seconds when you don't know if anybody else is back to the bar yet? That adds up.
Pat Vellner, bottom right of your screen, he is back in the lead through 67 of the 90 repetitions. Gudmundsson, Sager, Chandler Smith, and Adrian Moonweiler are all still very close to Pat Vellner. Vellner continuing to work through 70 of the 90 total repetitions. A couple more before he goes back to the barbell for the final time at 205 pounds for 9 thrusters.
Once from Moonweiler, top right part of the screen is that his burpee pull-ups are actually getting a little bit slower than I've seen from a few athletes that are trying to hang with him.
Moonweiler came out of the gates pretty hot. He is now back in second place. Noah Olson, remember he started later than the other athletes, so he is being timed separately. As we take a look at the event tracker on the left part of your screen, as Pat Vellner is your leader, but he does not have much of a cushion as Moonweiler, Gudmundsson, Sager, and Chandler Smith are all trying to chase him down.
So Gudmundsson in the top left in the second lane. He gets to his bar. And like I said, the round of 9 can change everything because it is so heavy. Your brakes are forced to be longer, maybe more than you had planned on. So what Vellner's lead had, I think he's starting to lose it now. He's taking bigger breaks than he might think he is.
And Moonweiler has now tied Pat Vellner for the lead, as has Jacob Hepner.
Hepner in the upper middle part. He's doing singles, but he's not putting the bar down. He was resting in the rack position, and I think he just did 9 in a row.
Vellner is on to the burpee pull-ups. The time to beat belongs to Colton Mertens, 7 minutes, 1 second unofficially. And that looks like it's going to stick. So Colton Mertens is going to open up with an event win. Now the fight is for second place, as the second best time is Alexander Caron at 7:53. So Vellner is done. He's going to win the heat, and he'll take second place in the event. He'll lock up 95 points in the process, and now Jacob Hepner looking to be the next man across the finish line.
Wow. Hepner, man, his last 9 thrusters. I know Vellner just won the event, and he's so close to Mertens' time, and again, we have to see how it shakes out with a little bit of the reviews afterwards. But Hepner never put the bar down, but he was resting in that front rack position, which just blows my mind that anyone would attempt to do that. But that's what got him into that second position, because he never dropped the bar in that set of 9 thrusters.
So Vellner with the top time in the heat at 7:11 unofficially. Cole Sager finishes at 7:33. Spencer Panchik is in. Jacob Hepner doing what he does. Sorry, Saxon Panchik. I said Spencer, but Saxon Panchik is the man who was across. And now Noah Olson. And remember, Olson started on a different clock because he missed the start call, but he is being timed separately. So Olson is through 78 now of the 90 total repetitions, as Will Morad has finished. Noah Olson is all by himself.
He's taking a big break before he gets into these last few reps.
And again, he is not on the clock in the upper left-hand part of your screen. He is being timed separately. Olson on to his final set of burpee pull-ups. And a good pace for him on this last set.
Great pace on these burpee pull-ups. Not a lot of wasted movement. Laying on his feet, dropping right down into that chest-to-ground position.
And Olson is done.
So I think I heard his judge say 7:28.
So if that is true, that is unofficial. If 7:28 is his time that could be good for 4th place in the event, as he would just edge out Adrian Moonviler. But all that needs to be sorted out. But a good time for Noah Olson. Pat Vellner is the man who wins the heat, unofficially at 7:11, and that will